Hi there folks, and welcome to this episode of Michael's Backyard Marina. So what we got here is what I'm going to call a boat cover hack for you. This is something I've been working on literally all summer, trying to get right. And I think I got a solution that is palatable. I think I have a solution here that everyone might like. I tried doing some 3D printing, making some parts for these boat covers so that these, see this right here where they got the nice backbone holding this boat cover up high? No water settles in any of my boats because I've used this method. And I tried to do a 3D printed method that I could possibly sell to folks, but I'm finding out it's not working out very well. Yes, these are 3D printed parts on here right now. I'll show you the failure points. Now this is printed out of PLA. I have actually shipped a few out to some people on a giveaway situation. I had one person that bought some from me. They failed. I reprinted some out of ABS. Haven't heard any feedback on the ABS version yet. But these things are subject to a decent amount of heat. If your boat is left out in the sun, you know, PLA can only withstand like 120 degrees or so. ABS can go up to like 160 degrees, I think it is, before it starts to become what they call malleable or whatever. When it starts to melt basically, or gets soft to start taking on movement. And I just was trying to come up with a good life hack for you guys so you guys can protect your boats, so we have to protect my boats by keeping them covered and keeping them from the cover being ruined by sitting with a bunch of water on the top of it, and every time you have to remove it, you got to bail it out. So I'm going to get you in here close and I'm going to show you what I have, and I'm going to show you the little idea I have in mind, and we're going to do it together, and we're going to learn together, and we're going to find out if it succeeds together. I bought the parts that you can purchase. I'll give you in the description. I'll leave a link to like a part number, say at a hardware store, or what they call these parts, and you can find your own. I might even see if Amazon has them. If they do, I'll leave a link to that. But we'll dig in here and see if we can make this work so you can go home, go out, buy your own stuff, do a little, sawing, and put together your own boat cover protector support, boat cover support. Let's call it that. All right, let's jump in here and I'm going to show you up close. I'm going to go ahead and pop this cover loose. Now this method of supporting the cover so far has been working on my 14-foot boat here, both of my 16-foot boats, and the 22-foot boat, and the 19-foot boat, to protect water from getting inside and cause me a problem. Now, as you can see here, these are the brightly colored parts that I have printed, 3D printed. And I'm going to go ahead and take the cover off on the other side, just to get this fully exposed. And we'll start from there. The nice thing about having one of these is it makes your cover easier to take on and off. Now, as you can see, one of the failure points here is the, wow. Yeah, you can see this piece seemed to held up pretty good, not too bad at all. It's kind of taking shape, and it fits kind of snug on there, which is fine. This might be a little hard to actually see, but yeah, you can see this top is all warped and deformed. This was smooth on top, but it's got kind of a funky shape to it now. So as you saw, the cover was still up and supported pretty well, which is a good thing, right? See if I can get some of these disassembled. There we go. And as you can see, this PVC pipe will actually, after being exposed to the hot and whatever, will take shape. These didn't start off in this shape. I actually had put these on here, bent it, and boom, locked them in. And over time, they have taken shape, right? Which is fine. Then when you go to take it off, at least these things aren't under tremendous pressure and stress. It makes things easier to work on. So I want to show you what an idea I have in mind. I'm going to use this piece as an example, if I can get this other piece off. Now these parts didn't seem to deform very much, but I also printed them with a crazy amount of infill, so they're not quite solid plastic, but they're pretty dense. Let me go get the other pieces. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So what I've purchased here, now this is just your regular electrical PVC. It's called 3/4 inch schedule 40 rigid PVC conduit. It's mainly for wiring. The nice thing about this stuff, it's for above ground and underground, so it's UV resistant, right? That's a good thing. Now the other thing I've purchased here, this may or may not work. I haven't even tried this yet. You guys are gonna learn right along with me. I bought this piece of conduit here, and I believe these are 1.5" by 3/4 inch tees. And these are 1 inch, yeah, these are 3/4 by 1 inch by 1 inch. There it goes, I see it right there. And these are 1.5" by 1.5" by 3/4. And here's what I'm gonna do. Here's why I bought this style. On this end here, I bought this 3/4 so because it fits this conduit, right? You guys kind of see where I'm going with this now, don't you? Pretty simple. And then for the cross piece supports, let's see if this is even gonna work. Oh yeah, this fits up here easily. Actually, that could fit a little tighter, wouldn't break my heart, that's for sure. But this will be a cross piece that you can put up there to go from one to the next. So now that I've got that, kind of get the idea here, I'm gonna bring you up close and show you how I'm gonna kind of lay this out. Now you kind of get an idea where I'm going with this. So I'm gonna take my pen. You can take a marker, whatever you want. So what I want to do is I want to take this and I want to cut it, let's just say right here. And I also want to go like 90 degrees, right? So what I want to do is I want to have this thing set clear over in here, this kind of overhang the side. And I think that in order to accomplish that, I've got to go to somewhere about there. We're going to cut that with a bandsaw first, and we'll be right back. Now you can do this with a hacksaw or grinder or whatever you got, basically to cut this PVC. I happen to have a bandsaw, so that's what I'm going to use. I put that mark here and here, and I'm just going to cut that right across. Let's go do a test fit on that. All right, that's what we just cut. Well, that's not half bad there. I'm thinking I should cut the other one just like it. Let's go cut the other one just like it, and we'll be right back and see what it looks like on the boat. All right, I got these others cut. Let's just see if this whole process is gonna really work for me here. Let's gather up a couple of my pieces. Let's just see how this assembly goes together. So I'm gonna slide this other tee on here. I'm gonna go ahead and stick this on here. Now the cool part about this is once you get it all set up and you like how it goes, you go ahead and use some PVC cement and you glue these joints together. Makes these things not fall off. They already fit somewhat snug anyway, but hey, make it permanent. Well, I really like this so far. This is a hack I can get my head wrapped around for sure. Now this one I had, well, there's another one clear back here. So I want to put my two new ones that I'm playing around with up here. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, that ain't half bad. I'm just sitting here looking at it going, what would I do different? And that's not half bad at all. That's actually going to be, once you glue all this together and you glue this T-piece can do whatever you want here. But I think the key's going to be getting her glued so she stays put. I'm saying that's not a bad little life hack right there. And that, once you got the cover on it, she's gonna stay nice and secure right where you want it. Well, it would appear to me that I didn't buy enough of these because I was kind of questioning whether this is going to work or not. But lo and behold, I'm pretty tickled with that. That's gonna be something you folks can buy and do yourself and keep your boat healthy on the inside. Now let's go over some of the cost here. So a 3/4 inch by 10-foot conduit is $7.99 a piece. And this is at my local Menards store. It's like a big box lumber yard in the Midwest here. And then we had 1.5 by 1.5 by 3/4 tee, which is this guy up here. I bought 2 of those so far at $2.99 each. Nope, wrong. 1.5 are the big guys. Big guys are $2.99 each. I bought 4 of those. So far I spent $15.98 on pipe, $11.96 on tees. The second set of tees, these little guys here, are $2 or $1.19, $2.38 a piece. So yeah, add that up, $15.98 plus $11.96 plus $2.38. Now, you can get, on this size of a boat, I can actually get 2 arches out of a 10-foot piece. On my 16-foot or 18-foot boats and the 22-foot boat, it basically takes 1 of these per cross member. So you're gonna have $7.99 per cross member here. So for each one is $70.99. So that's called $8, $8, $3, and yeah, about $10.19 per across there, right? And you're gonna need about 6 of them, so that's about $60, everything included. Now, when I was gonna be making these and selling them, that was what it was gonna cost you just to get these pieces without the conduit. So that's actually not a bad deal. And this way you cut this out can be to where it fits your boat. You might have a tighter little rib on the top of your boat that you can cut that smaller and get it just to snap on there maybe. Holds it on there for you. Helps you with the assembly process and the keeping it together process, right? I'm not unhappy with that at all. I think that's gonna ride, because chances are we're probably pretty close to coming in up on winter here. It's getting to be late September, and we'll be pulling that old motor off the back of the boat and sticking it in the shop for the winter. But the old boat will be out here probably surviving all the snow and everything else in between if I don't have a shelter to put it under. And this will keep everything, the snow and everything on top and out of my boat. You guys leave comments down below as to what you think about this idea, or if you have any other suggestions. Now, the one thing I like about using the plastic is the plastic won't mar, won't rust, which is first and foremost. And if you happen to bang it into something else in your boat, it probably won't damage it. You get in here with some conduit, metal conduit or something doing the same thing, you just got other things to contend with. The plastic ain't gonna get your metal conduit to bend like this, first and foremost, not easily. And all this conduit you see here was as straight as this piece right here until it sat underneath here, bent like this, and under the heat of the cover, and then it just took shape. Now what I will do going forward here is these will all be glued together, and the nice thing about that is I can start taking these things apart. Now the cool part about this is when you take these off, you can just lift them off like I'm gonna do right here and set them aside. And if this part here pivots like it does, you can just like do whatever you want with it. But when it comes time to put them back on, it's easy for one man just to go bang, bang, and pop it right back on, kind of center this thing up, pull your tarp or your cover down tight over it, and everything stays put. The cover kind of helps tie it all back together again. And the nice thing about these tees too, and this is what I'm gonna do, you guys can do what you want. I'm gonna put another tee right here next to this one, going the other way. So that way I can tie one to the other, so it's all one, this thing's all tied together as a whole backbone, right? I think that's gonna be my best bet to making this thing work like I want. But man, I'm gonna have to run back to the hardware store tonight, to the big box store, and I think I'm gonna have to buy me like, let's see, I need 1, 2, I almost wouldn't mind having 3. So 6 of these, and you need 1 of these, that's 6, 2 for each one, 6, wow. So yeah, I think I'm gonna grab me a handful of these, a handful more of these guys. I've got enough of this PVC pipe to make it work, and we'll get this thing buttoned up, looking good. Well, folks, I wasn't kidding when I said I need to run back to the hardware store, so I did after dark last night, and I picked me up some of this OD Handy Pack PVC cement, because I'm going to glue these together, and I bought more pieces. All right, yep. So we're going to go ahead and stick this thing back together, put it together. So there it is with the complete skeleton put together. I haven't glued anything yet, but I'm going to go ahead and pull the cover back on and do a test fit before you glue. And the reason you want to do that is you want to make sure your boat cover comes down past the edge of your boat, that you didn't make these bows too big. Because if you did that, you're going to be disappointed in yourself. Now, the nice thing, if they're too big, you can always shorten them up a little bit, because they're going to have some tension on them. When these are brand new and fresh and you're bending them in there for the first time, they're going to have tension and they're going to hold place, and you can shorten them up and put a little lower bow if you have to. But yeah, if your boat cover doesn't come down past your sides, it doesn't do you a lot of good. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cover back on it now and cinch it down and see how things look. All right, there you have it, folks. Cover's all stretched over, pulled down tight. Water's not going to sit anywhere on this cover. It's going to shed off. What more can I say? I think it's a good life hack. I think it's going to work for me long term. I'm going to apply this same principle to any other boats and covers I need to do like this. I don't see why I wouldn't. Unless you guys come up with a better solution than this, share it with me. I'd love to hear it. I think, you know, now that I've got this in place where I want it, I can easily go in here and re-glue everything. So I wouldn't glue everything together until you have it set up like this and go, okay, this works. And then the other important thing to do is number your bows 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatnot, or however you can remember it, to make sure you put them back on the same way. Especially if you don't glue a couple of these joints together, so you can pull it apart and use it in, you know, take it off in 2 pieces, makes things a little handier sometimes. But I think that's it. I like the results. It's turned out good. This will withstand. Now, is this trailerable? I would say no. If you want to, you can try it. Let me know your results. But if your cover's down good and tight, these actually should ride pretty good. Keep your cover from whipping and whatnot. But most of you that have these real expensive newer boats will have a nice new cover that fits really tight and is trailerable. Some of these old boats, you know, we're using universal boat covers and whatnot that kind of fit close, not perfect, and you get what you get with them. Well, that's a wrap for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative and helpful. This is Michael saying, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. Get out there and have some fun. And I'm out. That should hold her good.